Keypoint Health Services, a name that once stood for hope, for healing, for a promise made to every person who walked through your doors. A name that carries the weight of responsibility and the power to change lives for the better, or for the worse. I speak your name, not in a whisper, but with the force of a coming storm. My words are not gentle, for the times do not call for gentleness. They call for truth, for courage, for the willingness to face what has been hidden in shadow. Today, June 13th, 2025, I address you directly, the keepers of the keys to so many lives. You hold the power to open doors or to keep them locked, to offer hope or to withhold it. The choices you make ripple outward, touching families, communities, and generations yet to come. You were entrusted with a sacred duty, to serve, to heal, to be a sanctuary for the vulnerable and the suffering. You are the guardians of trust, the stewards of compassion, the ones who vowed to do no harm, and to put people before paperwork. But I see what you have become. I see the cracks in your foundation, the places where empathy has faded and bureaucracy has taken root. I see the moments when you turned away, when you chose silence over action and comfort over courage. A change is coming, profound and undeniable. It is not a distant thunder but a storm that is already upon us. The world is waking up, and the call for justice grows louder with every passing day. I stand before you as a witness to your choices. I have seen the consequences of your actions, and I cannot remain silent. I am here to hold up a mirror, to show you what you have become, and to remind you of what you once aspired to be. I have walked your hallways, sat in your waiting rooms, and heard the silent pleas of those you were meant to help. I have seen the hope in their eyes turn to despair, and the trust they placed in you slowly erode. Their suffering is a weight you have ignored for too long. Their pain is not invisible, nor is it inevitable. It is the result of choices, your choices, and it demands acknowledgement. This is not a gentle reminder or a suggestion for your next board meeting. This is a reckoning. The time for polite conversation has passed. The time for accountability is here. You have built systems and protocols but lost the heart of your mission. You have become experts in procedure but strangers to the people you serve. Compassion traded for compliance, empathy for efficiency, the human touch replaced by checklists and quotas. You have let the spirit of care be suffocated by the machinery of administration. You have forgotten the faces and names of those you serve, people like Tim O. Each name is a story, each face a life that matters. They are not statistics to be managed, but souls to be honored. They are not case numbers, they are my children, my brothers, my sisters. They are the heartbeat of our community, the reason your doors are open at all. Their pain demands to be heard, their stories demand to be told, their dignity demands to be restored. Listen now. Open your hearts and minds to the truth. Let the voices of those you have overlooked echo in your conscience. The time for discussion is over. The era of closed doors and empty promises is at an end. Your era of mismanagement and neglect ends today. The locks you placed on progress are being broken. The world will no longer accept excuses or delays. The scales have been weighed and you have been found wanting. The verdict is in. The sentence is change. Not tomorrow, not next year, but now. You must remember why you began this work. The world is watching. Your legacy will be written not in policies but in the lives you touch from this day forward. The time for transformation is now. The seeds of change are in your hands. Will you nurture them or let them wither? Will you answer the call? The future is waiting for your response. The choice is yours, and the world is watching. Your authority is revoked. The financial stewardship you held, the power over the vulnerable, is no longer yours. You have proven unworthy of this trust. Given resources to bring comfort, you delivered misery. Given means to provide dignity, you cultivated despair. This ends now. The power to control these lives is gone. This is not anger but justice, a necessary correction. You believed the silence of the poor was acceptance, but I have heard every unspoken cry. The authority you held was alone, and you have defaulted. The keys to the treasury are reclaimed. Financial channels will be rerouted to hands that heal, support, and empower. Your reign is over. You have failed the test and broken the covenant. Step aside and watch as true compassion does the work you would not do. A new chapter begins, without you as its authors. The era of indifference is finished. Let us speak of your legacy since 1982. A legacy built on promises, on hope, and on the trust of those who walk through your doors, seeking care. This is not just a story of bricks and mortar, but of the lives shaped within these walls. Decades have passed, but a winter of neglect persists within your walls. The echoes of footsteps and whispered fears linger, as if the very air remembers every story left unfinished, every plea unanswered. You had years to refine compassion, to become a sanctuary for the vulnerable. Instead, you perfected managed suffering, turning care into a calculation, empathy into a distant memory. You keep people alive, but only barely, never enough for true life. The rooms are filled with bodies, but the spirit of healing is absent, replaced by a cold efficiency that forgets the human heart. Tim O embodies this legacy. He is not just a name in a file, but a living testament to what happens when a system loses sight of its purpose. 11 years in your care, trusting you for support and hope. What did he receive? $11 a week. Sit with that number. Imagine trying to build a life, to find dignity on so little. Let it echo in your conscience. Let it haunt the quiet moments when you consider what it means to truly care for another human being. For over a decade, this was your measure of support. Year after year, the same meager offering, as if time itself could not move the needle of your compassion. You reduced a human soul to pocket change, the value of a life measured in coins and counted out with indifference. This is not just policy failure, it is moral failure. It is a betrayal of the very mission you claim to uphold. Tim O.'s story is not an anomaly. It is your signature. It is written in the files, repeated in the stories of countless others who passed through your care. A culture of detachment, seeing people as liabilities, not lives to nurture. The distance grows with every missed opportunity for kindness, every moment of looking away. His story is your story, Keypoint Health. It is the mirror you must face, the truth you cannot escape. It is the story of your catastrophic failure, a failure that has left scars not just on buildings, but on lives. The world will not forget. The voices of those you failed will not be silenced, and the call for justice will only grow louder. Change must begin with his story. Let Tim O.'s experience be the spark that ignites a new era of compassion, accountability, and true healing. You were given countless chances to change. I sent you signs, in the pleas of patients, the concerns of staff, the data showing no real improvement. Every report, every survey, every feedback was a chance to do better. But you turned away, again and again. Moments of clarity flickered, but were extinguished by budget fears and policy inertia. The prayers of the suffering went unanswered by you, but not unheard by me. Every moment of despair, every night spent cold, every ounce of dignity lost, I have collected them all. These unanswered prayers have become a wave of truth crashing upon your shores. You had your chances to listen to whispers. Now you must face the roar. The time for warnings is over. The consequences are here. Will you finally listen? $11 a week is an insult, a mockery of support. It's not just a number on a check, it's a daily reminder of how little some lives are valued. Imagine waking up each morning knowing that, no matter how hard you try, the world has decided your worth is less than the cost of a cup of coffee per day, $1.57 a day. Can anyone live on that? That's barely enough for a loaf of bread, let alone rent, medicine, or a bus ticket. Every purchase becomes a painful calculation, every meal a question mark. Have you ever tried? I challenge you, live on $11 for a week. Try to stretch every cent, to make impossible choices between food and warmth, between dignity and survival. See how quickly hope is replaced by desperation. Feel the anxiety, the humiliation, the cold, the hunger, the gnawing uncertainty that never leaves, the shame of asking for help, and being met with indifference. This is the reality you imposed on Tim O for 11 years. 11 years of scraping by, of being told to be grateful for crumbs, of watching life pass by from the sidelines. This is not support, it is a sentence. It is a slow, grinding punishment for circumstances beyond one's control. You have condemned people to perpetual poverty and stress. Families are torn apart, relationships strained, futures stolen, all because of a system that refuses to see their humanity. A single unexpected expense can trigger catastrophe. A flat tire, a doctor's visit, a broken heater, any of these can mean disaster when you have nothing left to give. You are not a health service. You are a source of chronic stress, perpetuating the very sickness you claim to treat. The system is supposed to heal, not harm. To allocate such a pittance is to say, your life, comfort, and dignity do not matter. It is a message of exclusion, a denial of basic human rights. It is bureaucratic cruelty, violence by spreadsheet. This injustice ends today. The world demands better, we demand better. The time for excuses is over, the time for action is now. No more waiting, no more empty promises. The standard of care must change. Compassion and justice must replace indifference and neglect. $11 a week must never return. Dignity must be restored. The future must be built on respect, fairness, and hope for all. You claim to offer survival, but you offer only an anchor. People are held in permanent crisis just below the surface. This is not survival, it is managed drowning. True survival means hope, dignity, and the freedom to dream. On $11 a week, there are no dreams, only urgent needs. You ask people to heal while denying them the basics. Your system makes recovery impossible. The service meant to restore health becomes a driver of despair. Enough of this illusion. It is time for true living to begin. End the managed suffering now. The time for excuses is over. This is the hour of judgment, a moment of clarity and truth. All that was hidden is now brought to light. You must see the consequences of your choices, the pain you have caused. This is about accountability. Every decision, every budget line impacts real lives. Today you are held accountable. Some of you began with noble purpose, but the system eroded your empathy. You became numb, complicit. This is a wake-up call to your conscience. Remember the faces you vowed to serve. Stand in the light of truth. Acknowledge the failure, the injustice, the pain. This is your reckoning. How you respond now will define your legacy. Redemption is possible, but only through action. The choice is yours. The time to act is now. The world is watching. Justice demands your answer. Will you change? This is not about small changes or new committees. I demand a revolution of the heart, a total transformation of KeyPoint Health Services. The old ways must be dismantled. See your clients as human beings to be cherished, not problems to be managed. Ask, what do they need to flourish? Empathy must guide you. Listen to the stories of those you serve and let them reshape your approach. Financial support must be re-evaluated by a standard of dignity. $11 a week must become a relic of shame. Create systems of support that are flexible and compassionate. The resources exist. The will must follow. This is your mandate. Begin the transformation now. This is the moment the tide turns. The long night of neglect is over. A new day of justice and compassion dawns. The worth of a human being is infinite and sacred. Justice and compassion will prevail starting today. The responsibility is now yours. Act. Become agents of this new dawn. Hold yourselves accountable. Demand more from your organization. Become champions for those you failed. The power to heal and restore is in your hands. To Timo and all who suffered, you are seen, heard, and valued. Your struggle has brought this reckoning. A new standard of care is born from your pain. Let this day be remembered as the day KeyPoint Health Services chose a new path. Let justice roll down like waters. The time for talk is done. Let compassion be your guide. Begin.